What's up, PokerBEASTs? Welcome back to the vlog. Today is part 3 of the Live at the Lodge live stream game that I got to participate in Austin, Texas. Don't forget, Tuesday, June 22nd, 5 to 10 p.m. at Jamul Casino, we're doing the first ever PokerBEASTs meetup. There's going to be many other vloggers there. There's going to be a ton of players from all over. There's going to be a lot of action, a lot of money to be won. Let's have some fun. I'll see you there. Now let's get back to the game. I'm in middle position, and I have Jack 7 of clubs. I go to make a bet, but I crossed the darn line, committing all the chips in my hand. It turned out to be $45, and so that's what I have to run with. Folds around to Skull Mike, the new addition to the table. He took over Sebastian's seat, and he is a rowdy player. He's an action player. He also plays higher stakes. He plays in the deep stack 5-5 game and bigger, so this is chump change for him. He decides to just flat. He could throw in a 3-bet here, but I think that it would be disastrous if he 3-bet and I went over the top of him with a 4-bet. He'd have to fold. His hand has a lot of great equity going to the flop, and just calling with position is not a bad idea. In order to realize that equity, Johnny Durr also makes a call with 9-7 suited. The flop comes out, Jack 9 deuce. We all get a piece of it. Skull Mike and I have hit top pair. Johnny Durr with the middle pair. If he hits a 7, he's going to be in big trouble. I'm going to be in the fast track to make some money. I'm first to act. I could just check here. I do have top pair. I want to provide a little bit of protection on this connected board. I decided to go with a half pot size bet, $75, opening the action. Skull Mike comes quickly behind, and Johnny Durr wastes no time throwing his chips in the pot. We're all staying in for the turn, 370 in the pot. We're on our way to seeing the turn card. Will it change anything? The ace of diamonds, the ultimate scare card. I could bet here, but I would kind of be representing ace jack, maybe ace king with a continuation bet. I think that the more effective plan is to, if I want to represent strength, check, raise here. I do decide to go with a check in order to raise. I'm assuming both of these players are going to want to mix it up, but may really step back to aggression if they're faced with it, especially from the player like me who, you know, is a vlogger, he's in town. Oh, he's not going to get out of line. Unfortunately, it checks through, and we're going to the river. It's the king of hearts. Hearts get there. Backdoor straights get there. The king is another scare card for sure. I could lead out and bet here, but I just don't think I have enough time to tell my story. I'm going to get looked up by a player who's just curious to see what I have. And so I decide I check. My time has passed to win this hand. I could probably check raise if I want to, again, possibly on this river, but it checks through, and Skull Mike's taking the hand down with the best hand. The next hand is double straddled. I'm under the gun. I straddled, then Justice straddled, $25 on top of me. It's $25 to go. It folds all the way around to me, and I do have an ace against a straddled hand. I'm going to go ahead and bump it up a little bit. I make it $60. It's Justice has 7-6 of spades, and it's not going to take him long. He makes the call. We're going heads up to the flop, $124 in the pot. The dealer puts the cards on the felt, flips them over. Queen, queen, deuce. It's Justice. Doesn't have queens this time, thank goodness. Justice points at the table, says, if you bet anything, I'll fold. He grabs his cards to muck. He's telling the truth, but I balked him. I checked. We're going to the turn. I believe him now. I throw in a few chips in before I even can. He throws his cards away. Thank you, Justice, for the $60 donation. I'll take it any day. The pre-flop raise category, I'm number 1, 26%. Skull Mike, who's just sat down, is pushing the table around. He's at 26% as well, and then it drops off drastically, 12%. Jumping into the next hand, there's a double straddle on this pot, $75 worth of straddles. Johnny Durr has straddled $50 after Killer Mike straddled $25. There's one limper in the cutoff. I don't think he's limping with a strong hand to trap because action is just about over. I think that he maybe has something marginal, exactly like what he does have, suited connectors. He definitely should have put in a bet. I am going to bet, though. King 8 of spades on the button. A lot of dead money in the pot. No aggression being shown. I have to assume that I have the best hand. I make it $300 into a $129 pot. Maybe a little aggressive, maybe a little too much. I just want to make the decision easy for my opponents, but it gets to Skull Mike, and it's not going to be easy for him. He has ace, jack, offsuit, $275 to call. He's sitting with $1,300 in his stack, and I don't know anything about this player at this moment. I'm about to learn something very important. This guy is aggressive. This guy goes for it. This guy plays larger stakes. This guy's making a move on me that I don't think I've ever experienced before. Ace-Jack offsuit. He says ship it. He goes all in, $1,300 with Ace-Jack offsuit, folks. A very powerful play. This is interesting to think about because obviously he plays higher stakes, and so this money doesn't mean as much to him. You know, it's less than a fraction of a typical buy-in for his game. But Ace-Jack offsuit, you know, he also understands what I'm doing. It's kind of a leveling war. He knows that I probably don't have his hand beat, and so he's going with it. He's going with his read. He's going with his gut. He knows I'm trying to pull a play on the table for that dead money in the middle of the pot, so he's squeezing me hard with Ace-Jack offsuit. You got to give it to him. I, of course, can't stick around. I wanted to just make the call just to say I'm not going to be pushed around, but I throw the cards away. Burning $300 like it's nothing. All right, who's ready for their free endorphin hit? All you have to do is drop a like, and I promise you, you'll feel better than you have all day knowing that you're helping the little guy succeed. You're helping me follow my journey and my dream. Thank you so much. The king 8 of spades was painful. Luckily, I do not have to wait long for another good hand. Andrew in seat 9, who I haven't seen really play at all, opens the action to $12 with ace king of hearts, and I look down at pocket queens. I'm in the hijack. I'm going to be going for a 3-bet. I decide on $60 is the right amount. It's Justice tosses it away. We got Frankie going home. Skull Mike, Johnny Dirt, all out. It gets back around to the original better. What's he going to do? Ace King of Hearts is definitely a 4-bet. He's just going to make the call. He has been playing tight tonight. He is out of position. Maybe he doesn't want to make the play. We're going to go set mining with Devin. He's got pocket 8s. 3-way action to the flop. 164 in the pot. There's a lot of live cards here. What's it going to be? King 4-7. I assume that it's going to check around to me since I 3-bet. But Andrew does something very interesting. He leads out. This immediately sent red flags down my spine. What is he leading out with here? What is his donk betting range on this board? And I just have a hard time finding anything that he's going to be donk betting here with, except for a king. I mean, he could have a set, but he's definitely going to be check raising that. He could have maybe a straight draw, but I highly doubt it. Opening from the middle position with something like 5-6 doesn't make sense. When I'm donk bet into like this, it reminds me of pheasant hunting. You walk through a field, eventually the pheasants get spooked, they fly up out of the grass, revealing them. I feel like Andrew did the same thing here, especially with him being maybe the tightest player at the table right now. For him to make this move just tells me that I'm beat. I do have pocket queens, and there is only one overcard on this very dry board. But I'm going to go with my gut. I fold away the queens. I look away in disgust. I look like I'm kind of beat up at this point. Things just aren't going my way. I need to refocus. I need to get back into it. This right here is something that I really try to work on. Table stamina. You never want to show your opponents how you feel. You never want to show them that you're weak, that you're frustrated, that you're angry, that you're on tilt. I definitely wouldn't say I'm on tilt. I'm a little more beat down and just generally frustrated than anything else, but I'm playing poker. I sat down here. This is the name of the game. I got on an airplane to come take this beating. If that was the case, I don't know what the poker gods are going to do, and neither do you. Just play your A game as much as you can. If you're skipping over your A game because you're being an emotional little crybaby like I am, nothing good is going to come out of it. You have to be able to toss that C game out the window, play your A game, and keep on it. The next hand I get is 9-7 of clubs. Frankie's raised it up to 15 with ace-jack of clubs. Andrew has queen 10 of spades. And I'm going to put in the 3-bet here, $60. I've been learning about board coverage, which is basically constructing a range that can have nutted hands on a lot of different board textures. If I only 3-bet aces through jacks from the small blind, then any cards below a 10 that come out on the board are obviously not going to be helping me. It's very exploitable if my opponents know that. When I mix in hands with like 9-7 of clubs, I have much greater board coverage. If the board comes 10-8-6, now all of a sudden I could have a straight. I could have the nuts. You have to keep your opponents guessing. You have to keep your range concealed. It may be scary 3-betting 9-7 of clubs, and maybe 10-9 of clubs, 9-8 of clubs are more suitable options rather than a 1-gapper. But just think about this a little bit when you're improving your game. The next hand I get is 9-8 of spades. I'm in the middle position. There is a strat on the pot, and I'm going to bump it up to $30. I definitely think this is a hand that can be opened. This may be a slightly early position. It's very difficult because all the aggressive players are on my left to act behind me. All the tight players are on my right. I finally get a caller from Johnny Dirt. Now it's back on to Corey. Totally cool dude. We've talked a lot after the stream. Really nice guy. I haven't really seen him get out of line this evening. He makes the call, completing for $30. We're headed to the flop. 3 waves with $94 in the pot. The board comes out. 6-8-5. I've hit my top pair. I have a gut shot straight draw. All in all, this is a fantastic board. I'm sitting with 47% equity. Let's see how the hand plays out. When it's checked to me, I'm definitely going to fire. I bet 2/3 pot, $60. Because I edit these vlogs and I'm doing all the math, calculating the pot sizes, I think I'm much more aware of pot sizes than the average poker player. I'm to the point now where I basically know exactly how much money is in the pot. That's something that I've never thought about before, and I would almost guarantee that the majority of poker players that play live cash games have no idea how much money is in the middle of the pot. On top of that, bet sizing is very important. I'm thinking about investing in PO Solver or something like that, and then it may be fun to make videos going over old vlogs that I've done, putting all the hands through PO Solver, analyzing them. What do you guys think of that? Would that be something that you're interested in? Johnny Dirt made the call, and then Corey steps out of line 3-betting to $210 with King 9 of diamonds. He does have backdoor flush draws. He does have a gut shot straight draw. But Now I'm in a really difficult position. I have top pair on the board. I have a gut shot straight draw. But what could Corey be representing? He is the pre-flop straddler, so his range is literally anything. It's fascinating being able to see the cards because when you're playing, of course, you have no idea what the heck they have. He's showing strength for the first time into me this entire session. The session's almost over, been going on for 3 or 4 hours. So I don't really see him getting out of line with much. I decided to make a disciplined laydown. I do only have a pair with a kind of a bad kicker. I'm not happy about it, but I toss my cards away. And Corey gets a playthrough. Congratulations, Corey. Really nice to meet you. And I'll get you back for that one soon enough. Moving on the next hand, there's a double straddle in the pot. I straddled a 15. It's just as straddled up to $50. And I look down at the beautiful pocket aces. I expect that fireworks would go off with such a big straddle, but no, it folds all the way around to me. It's just the 2 straddlers in the pot. And this justice has already cracked my aces once. I'm definitely going to make him pay. I'm not going to get tricky. I bet $150. 100 on top is justice. I hope that you have something that you can come along with. He asks, why didn't you check? Why didn't you call? Why didn't you raise 50? 100 is just too rich for my blood. You can tell he's visibly upset. Slams his chips down, flips over his hand. Jack 4 offsuit. He's got a flat tire. He just can't play it. He wanted to play it so badly, and I'm so glad he didn't have just something that I could get a little bit of my money back. I toss away the aces. Once again, you see visible frustration on my face. I need to work on that. It's unacceptable. It's not a healthy part of my game. I'm glad I could see it right now because it's very hard to see when you're not on a live stream. When I'm vlogging, my camera isn't facing me. It's facing the cards and the table. Thank you for going over this analysis with me. Let's all grow together from the lessons that we learned. And I think this is probably one of the lessons where you can experience growth the fastest. You just have to have control of your emotions, control of how you feel, control of being able to take control. You have to put yourself in a position to where you can react. You already know that this is coming. You already know that frustration in poker is right on the corner. You need to be ready when it is face-to-face with you. And clearly, I'm not. The next hand I get is 10-9 offsuit on the button. There is a $25 under the gun straddle by Skull Mike, and it folds around to me. So I just do a min raise, $50. Skull Mike makes the call. We're going heads up to the flop. 9-7 deuce. I've hit my top pair, but Skull Mike's sitting with 7 deuce offsuit, the worst hand in poker, and he's hit his bottom 2 pair. He checks it over to me. I'm going to continue betting. I bet $50, the same bet that I put in pre-flop, and he min clicks me, making it $100. He's just toying with me. He said afterwards that the reason he min clicked it is because I min clicked it pre-flop. This really threw me off my game, though. What the heck is he min raising me with here? I'm, of course, going to make the call. We're headed to the turn. 304 in the pot. And the dealer puts out the 6 of diamonds. Now I've picked up a gut shot. I still have top pair with a decent kicker, and I cannot construct Skull Mike's range at all. It's very difficult. I'm sitting here wondering, where is the min raise acceptable? What would he be min raising with? What variety of hands? And I just couldn't put him on anything. And that's the beauty of his play. He bets $200 on the turn. His pot is getting bigger than I like. I'm only sitting with about $850 behind me. I don't just want to let this one go. I just let top pair with a gut shot go with the king 9 hand, and I was winning that one. Now this is the exact same situation, and I'm losing. Just really tough situations to be in. I decide against this particular player, with his aggression, with his willingness to put money in the pot, I just can't fold his hand. It's interesting. I'm basing my decisions off reads. With Corey, I folded because he had a tight image. With Skull Mike, I'm calling because he has a loose image. I'm obviously growing and developing as a player who factors in a lot of different things, but I need to hone that skill. I need to hone it, sharpen the blade, sharpen that knife. That way, when I go to use it, it cuts quickly and doesn't draw blood. I may draw blood on this river, though. There is one card to come. I have 8 outs. The dealer burns, puts it on the felt, the 5 of spades. It made the 4-liner, but not the 4-liner that I needed. I needed an 8. And now I'm sitting with a pair of 9s. The check mark goes to Skull Mike. This is when I would expect Skull Mike to slow down. And if he did, I was probably just going to jam the river. I just have so many 8s in my range, so many better 2 pairs, so many sets. If I wanted to win the pot, I would have had to jam, and I probably would have. He's saving me a lot of money when he decides he's going to rip it all in. Really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I've thought about this hand quite a bit. I'm not sure if he's really going for value here. It seems more like he's maybe turning his hand into a bluff. Surely he doesn't think I'd call him all in with the worst hand. Maybe he thinks I have an overpair, but even then, I think it would have been better to go into check call mode. He probably knows more than I do, so I'd love to hear what he has to say about it. But I fold the hand away. And my chip stack is dwindling. It's very frustrating. And that's going to be the end of the Live at the Lodge stream. Down $799. Unfortunately, this is my second session. Now I'm down about $600 on the trip. The next video is going to be posted tomorrow. It's with Frankie and Rosie of Next Gen. It's going to be a fantastic episode. It's a comeback session for us all, hopefully. If you appreciate the content, if you're enjoying it, if you made it this far, make sure you subscribe, join up. We're having a lot of fun, and you need to be a part of it. Thanks for watching. Kato out.